Good morning. So, he's back. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder is back. Now, Michael Coppinger, Michael Benson, Dan Raphael, they all confirmed that Deontay, the Bronze Bomber, sorry, my baby's asleep. He's back. He'll be taking on Robert Helenius, October 20th. Now, here's what I have to say. First, the heavyweight division, and I've been saying this for some time now, in this era is better with Deontay Wilder. Okay, the heavyweight division is more exciting. It's better with Deontay Wilder opposed to without him. All right, so Deontay Wilder in the mix is great, especially with Tyson Fury threatening to retire and all those things. We got to see what Tyson Gypsy King Fury is trying to do. As of right now, they're talking about, you know, him taking on Derek Chisora for the third time, and nobody really want to see that fight, at least not in the States. I don't know how popular it is in the UK, so you guys let me know in the comments below. But what do I think about Deontay Wilder coming back? I think good. And I'm curious. I'm curious on his condition. You know, that beatdown he took from Tyson Fury was... You know, that fight was a war. It's one of the best trilogies in heavyweight history. As far as third fights of a trilogy, it's one of the better third fights of a trilogy ever. I mean, it was a slugfest. And we were wondering how much it took out of Tyson Fury. It didn't take much at all. It took, so I want to know how much it'll take out of Deontay Wilder, seeing him on his comeback. I am happy, though, that he took so much time off. All right, let me get my black two sugars. When you get knocked out like that, I always bring up Roy Jones Jr., but when he was knocked out against Tarver and he came back too soon against Glenn Johnson, he got knocked out again. And it was worse the second time. He actually caught a seizure. He was not physically ready as far as condition of his brain, of his head, his skull. He wasn't ready. So I am happy that Deontay Wilder took some time out. And spiritually, Deontay Wilder, he wanted vengeance and he wanted it in blood, and he hated that he lost, okay? So that's the thing. And plus, all of the boxing world got emotionally invested in that. You had the racial tension. You had, you know, him saying that, you know, Tyson Fury lied. So you had the cheating allegations. You had all these things that really went viral, okay? So it meant a lot to him. So he had to have that come spiritually, make sure he's ready. And all that takes some time. I'm happy, though, that he did take the time. I want to say this, too. I hope Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder comes back 212, 215 instead of 230 and bulked up. That made him special. When I talked about Deontay Wilder, what he was doing, and I said this when I first started my channel. Let me get my black two sugars. I said this when I first started the channel. I said, well, what makes Deontay Wilder so special isn't his boxing ability. We all know that. What makes him special is the fact that in this era of super heavyweights, these real big guys, he's wiry. He's in shape, right? He's shredded, right? And it's meaning that he has elasticity. He can punch from a good distance on top of his power. And these big heavyweights, they can't move as much. When he came in against Tyson Fury, big and bulky, he didn't have the elasticity. He was a little bit slower, and he didn't have the stamina. If you look at Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 1, he went 12 rounds, and he kept his power. He dropped Tyson Fury in that Undertaker moment, right? That was in the 12th. All of a sudden, after the third round, he's bone tired. He couldn't understand it. I could. That's not you. You're not 240, 235 of muscle. I mean, that's just basic understanding of fitness. He was too bulky, too muscular. He burnt himself out, and that's not him. That's not the condition he's been in, that he's been fighting in. Tyson Fury, he said one thing that I always bring up. Tyson Fury said, yeah, he's the hardest puncher I ever faced. But he said it wasn't the power that got him as much as the speed. When he fought Tyson Fury the second and third fight, he took that speed away, not only by himself. Tyson Fury made sure that he smothered his punches. Tyson Fury made sure that he leaned on him to try to tire him out even more so the punches can be easier to see. But he took that speed away himself. He helped Tyson Fury by gaining so much weight. So Deontay Wilder, I hope he comes back in 212 in that type of form, 215 and be special. And I want to say this too. Deontay Wilder, he just can't get past Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's, I mean, it's not impossible, but, right, Tyson Fury's better than him as of right now. And Deontay Wilder isn't getting any younger. But I still know that Deontay Wilder can add to his legacy on this comeback. And, you know, power is the last to go. So, I'm not, and he started late. So I'm worried about his age. I am, because Father Time is what it is. But he did start late, and he has a little less wear and tear. When you look at his resume, it ain't that packed full of killers. It's just not, okay? And Deontay Wilder's my favorite heavyweight, but I'm not going to cap. I'm going to end by saying this. Deontay Wilder's a crazy man. I've always said that. He would be quick to jump in and take on the winner or loser between AJ and Usyk. Get my black 2 sugars. And if he were in a position to take on somebody like, take on Usyk, I'll be afraid for Usyk. Usyk is a far better fighter than Deontay Wilder. He'll box the hell out of Deontay Wilder. But I'm not sure how clean Deontay Wilder would have to hit Usyk to knock him out. I'm just not sure, all right? When you fight another great fighter, it's harder to knock him out. But I would love to see that fight off the dynamic alone. The fact that Deontay Wilder's a sniper, puts you to sleep just like that, while Usyk is far better. All-around better boxer, the best heavyweight in the world as far as all-around. Tyson Fury, with his size and skills, makes him the steepest hill, okay? But Deontay Wilder coming back, I'm extremely excited. October 20th, that's amazing. Tyson Fury is going to have Derek Chisora, seems, at around the same time. Usyk and AJ, the winner between that fight, they're probably going to take some time. And I want to shout out to Usyk real quick for allowing the fight to be free in the Ukraine. You guys heard about that. The Saudis, they made sure that, you know, Usyk, he wanted it to be free. He was going to pay out of his own pocket, and they said they'd do it. So that's amazing, a great gesture. So shout out to Usyk and what he's doing. What a humanitarian and just supporter of his country. And I knew that he was going to do something like that. I'm expecting Lomachenko to do something like that, charitable work and stuff like that to help build Ukraine and help not only build, you know, Ukraine as far as buildings and stuff like that, right? To get the infrastructure back, but also build the spirits of the people. So they have a lot of responsibility, and they went to war. So they're willing to step up to that responsibility. But Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder coming back against Robert Helenius. We all know that Robert Helenius was in his training camp in preparation for Tyson Fury. So Robert knows where that power is. But that's the perfect type of opponent to get Deontay Wilder back, right? Get some wins in. Let him convince himself or confirm to himself that he's still the heavyweight that he thinks he is. And there's still a road to undisputed for Deontay Wilder. Showbiz, well, don't let me know how you all feel in the comments below. Are you excited? I know there's a lot of Deontay Wilder big fans, and I know there's people who hate Deontay Wilder because of the excuses that he made with Tyson Fury. Can't wait to see the dynamic in the comments. I'm out. Huh.